In modern life, we constantly face social pressures where others' opinions and judgments have the power to alter our lives. However, an ancient philosophy has helped people find inner peace for thousands of years despite external turmoil: Stoicism. Epictetus is one of the most prominent figures of this philosophy, who left us the Handbook of Life, a collection of powerful principles that guide us to live without being swayed by what lies beyond our control. But how can we apply these teachings in today's world? And can we truly achieve a mental state that remains unshaken by external factors? Let's explore the 7 principles passed down by Epictetus to see how calmness and self-mastery can be within our reach if we focus on what truly matters, distinguishing between what is within and beyond our control. A core aspect of Stoicism is the clear distinction between what we can control and cannot. Epictetus, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, emphasized that our lives are divided into 2 parts: those related to our actions and thoughts, and those beyond our control. What lies within our control includes our opinions, desires, preferences, and, primarily, our actions. We have the power to decide how we react to situations. We can choose how we think and feel about an issue. For instance, when faced with a challenge, we can see it as an obstacle to overcome or an insurmountable barrier. This choice ultimately determines how we experience life and the peace we find within ourselves. Conversely, our bodies, possessions, reputation, and power are beyond our control. No matter how carefully we care for our bodies, we cannot fully control our health. Similarly, our reputation and recognition from others are not within our command, as they depend on others' perceptions and thoughts. For example, no matter how hard or ethical you work, someone may still criticize or unfairly judge you. This is beyond your control, and thus, it should not affect your mood or emotions. Epictetus advised that we should focus our energy and efforts on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and responses. By doing so, we can minimize anxiety and distress from external factors that we cannot change. Instead of worrying about what others think, we should concentrate on living according to our values and principles. This approach leads to a more meaningful life and brings inner peace, regardless of external turbulence. The importance of focusing on what you can control. One of the most significant challenges we face in life is allocating our energy and time wisely. Epictetus, with the depth of Stoic philosophy, pointed out that people often waste a great deal of mental energy on things outside their control. Instead, he encourages us to focus entirely on what we can control: our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Consider a simple example. Suppose you must present to a large audience. You might feel anxious about whether the audience will like your presentation or how they will judge you. However, the reactions and opinions of others are beyond your control. You can only control your preparation, how you present your ideas, and how you manage your emotions throughout the presentation. By focusing on these elements, you improve your performance and reduce unnecessary anxiety. Epictetus emphasized that worrying about things outside our control only adds to our suffering. For instance, if you worry about the weather on the day of an important event, you are wasting energy on a factor you cannot influence. Instead, you should focus on what you can do to prepare best for the event, regardless of the weather conditions. Another example is in personal relationships. You may feel hurt if a close friend suddenly distances themselves or criticizes you. While this feeling is natural, it's essential to recognize that you cannot control others' actions or thoughts. You can only control your response. Whether you maintain your self-respect, treat others with kindness, and continue to live according to your values. As Epictetus taught, when we dedicate our energy and mind to things within our control, we live more effectively and reduce unnecessary worry and stress. Rather than trying to change the world around us, we should focus on changing how we respond to it. This is the key to achieving inner peace and self-mastery. The impact of others' opinions and judgments. One of the biggest obstacles we all face is the influence of others' opinions and judgments. In his Stoic philosophy, Epictetus clarified that being affected by others' thoughts is one of the primary sources of insecurity and suffering. However, he also emphasized that our reactions to these judgments are entirely within our control. Imagine you are standing at a crossroads in life, choosing a career you are passionate about but that society does not highly value. You may feel pressure from those around you, family, friends, and even strangers. These conflicting opinions can make you doubt yourself and your chosen path. However, Epictetus wants us to understand that these judgments can only affect you if you allow them to. Others' thoughts about you do not define your worth. How you respond to them does. Epictetus also advised that when faced with insults or criticism, we should remember that a person's value does not lie in how others perceive them, but in how they perceive themselves. If someone criticizes or insults you, that is their issue, not yours. You can choose to ignore negative remarks and not let them bother you. Instead of getting caught up in pleasing others or fearing how others might judge you, we should focus on living true to our values and principles. Epictetus showed that if we maintain our self-respect and do not let external judgments dictate our emotions and actions, we will achieve a stronger and more peaceful state of mind. This helps us overcome life's challenges and brings true freedom from dependence on others' opinions. The 7 principles of Epictetus for living unaffected by others' opinions. Epictetus left us with 7 powerful principles to help people live free from the influence of others' opinions and judgments. These principles not only help us understand the nature of negative emotions, but also guide us in maintaining calmness and peace of mind amidst life's difficulties. Principle 1. Insults or offenses only harm you if you allow them to. When someone insults you, the first thing to remember is that the insult can only harm you if you let it. For instance, when a colleague unfairly criticizes you, you can react angrily or calmly and accept that their opinion does not change your value. As Epictetus said, it is your thoughts about the insult that causes discomfort, not the words themselves. Principle 2. Stay committed to your goals despite mockery. If you have a clear and firm goal, such as pursuing a career you are passionate about, you must be prepared to face ridicule or judgment from others. Epictetus advises that perseverance in your goals will help you overcome mockery, and over time, those who once criticized you may come to admire your determination. Principle 3. Don't worry if someone speaks ill of you. When others speak ill or misunderstand you, it does not change who you are. For example, you may receive negative comments on social media from people who don't even know you. But it's important to remember that their opinions do not determine your value. Principle 4. Practice control over your emotions and thoughts. Epictetus emphasized that we must protect our minds just as we protect our homes. For example, if someone insults you, instead of letting their words invade your mind and trouble you for days, learn to keep your mind peaceful and not let others' negativity affect your emotions. Principle 5. Act according to your best judgment, not to please others. We should not be ashamed of acting according to our principles and values, even if it may lead to misunderstandings. For instance, others may look down on you if you refuse to participate in an inappropriate activity. However, what matters is that you acted according to your conscience and judgment. Principle 6. Remind yourself that no one can harm you unless you allow it. If someone tries to hurt you or speaks ill of you, remember they can only succeed if you let them. For example, if a colleague speaks badly about you to your boss, instead of reacting angrily, you can face the situation calmly and confidently in your own words. Principle 7. Understand that everyone has their perspective and cannot understand you. Epictetus reminds us that everyone has their way of viewing and thinking, and no one can fully understand your thoughts and motives. For example, if a stranger criticizes you based on false assumptions, remember that it reflects their lack of understanding, not your value. By applying these principles, We can learn to live calmly and independently without letting others' negative opinions dictate our lives and happiness. Epictetus shows us that true strength lies in how we respond to the world, not in what the world imposes on us. Lessons from Epictetus. Epictetus gave us invaluable lessons on living a peaceful and self-controlled life amidst external pressures and judgments. Through his proposed principles, we learn that happiness and inner peace depend not on what others think or say about us, but how we control our thoughts, emotions, and actions. One of Epictetus's most important lessons is the necessity of continuously striving to live according to reason and principles. He reminds us that if we keep delaying self-improvement, making excuses, and postponing growth, we will let life pass by without achieving progress. We are no longer irresponsible children, but adults capable of and responsible for living according to the values we believe in. Epictetus' teachings are not just ancient philosophy, but practical principles that can be applied to modern life. Ask yourself, how long will you wait before living faithfully to what you have learned? No one else can live your life for you. No other teacher can help you progress if you do not make the effort yourself. Don't let life pass by in delay and waste. Start now, act according to reason and your values, and let each day be a small step toward true peace and happiness. Conclusion. Through exploring the life principles of Epictetus, we realize a powerful message. Our lives will become more peaceful and meaningful when we focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our reach. Stoicism is a set of ancient principles and a practical guide to help us face daily challenges, from others' judgments to negative emotions within. We have discovered that our thoughts, emotions, and actions are what we can control. Worrying about others' opinions and judgments only adds unnecessary suffering. We can protect our minds from negative influences by cultivating self-control and remaining steadfast in our goals. Now, you must apply these principles to your daily life. Start by identifying what is within your control and focus on improving yourself rather than trying to change others or situations beyond your control. Each day is an opportunity to practice and live according to the values and principles you believe in. Don't delay change. Start today with small steps and consistent actions, and you will notice positive changes in your life. Live with the peace and self-mastery that Epictetus outlined, and discover a life free from harmful external influences.